Hi there, out in the Peak District today, not too far from home, about 5 miles. We're actually going to camp at a spectacular place today known as Higger Tor. It's a big rock plateau not far from here, probably about 2 miles, so not too much walking, but it's real spectacular scenery. The weather's looking good, it's forecast bright sunshine later on, so I brought my drone and hopefully we'll get some good footage. Now Higger Tor is not far from Sheffield and it is so popular, so I'm not going to be bivvying till later on. I'm going to have to wait for everybody to go home. But on the way up there, there's a hill fort. It's called Carl Wark. We might as well have a look at that and try and get a bit of footage of the hill fort itself, and I'll tell you a bit about it. So we'll set off, if you follow me, and we'll make our way up to Carl Wark hill fort. Here we go. Look at this lot. I wouldn't have bothered cleaning my boots if I'd have known. Only a couple of miles, he said. We've just arrived at the southern entrance to the hill fort. I'll give you a first glimpse of the hill fort and what lies beyond. We stood in the centre of the hill fort now. Now, very little is known about it. It seems to have got a very vague history. It's believed to be constructed 500, 800 years BC, making it an Iron Age hill fort. But it's got like a vague history of its occupation ever since. There was not a lot of evidence I could really find out about its history. It's roughly 230 metres long and 60 metres wide. You obviously can't see much here, so I'm going to circle it with my drone and try and give you a better view. I'm down here. Hopefully you can see me right in the centre of the hill fort. It's a millstone grit natural outcrop forming a small plateaued area. This is looking at the eastern wall of the hill fort. The eastern and northern defences are natural 10-metre high cliffs. Looking at the western rampart, you can see it's being constructed of large gritstone blocks. This was possibly later reinforced around 500 AD, just after the Romans had left. This is the southern defence. made up of large gritstone boulders, and you can probably see the entrance we walked up earlier. I hope that footage works out good. Clever little device, isn't it? Certainly an impressive place. If you follow me now, we're going to make our way up to Higger Tor. You can see Higger Tor ahead. Doesn't it look amazing in that sunlight? If you look to the left, you can see a massive tower of stone. That's called Leaning Block, and that's where we'll be bivvying tonight, right at the base of it. So I'll see you up there. Approaching Higger Tor now, you can see Leaning Block on the left of the picture. Just got to traverse this boulder field to get to the base of the tower. I think you can see why it's called Leaning Block now. So this is where we're bivvying tonight, right underneath Leaning Block. Now the block does lean right over, so if I've got my bivvy set out here and I'm under here, nothing can fall on me. I am quite sheltered under the overhang, and it might give me a bit of a shelter from the weather as well. There is one problem. Higger Tor is such a fantastic location. It's easy accessible from road, and it attracts so many people. There are loads of people up there. It's very popular with dog walkers, general walkers, and really popular with school trips. They come out in the van loads for the geography trips because it's a perfect area to study. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to wait probably a couple of hours before we can pitch, wait for everybody to go home. So while we're waiting, I'm going to send my drone straight out there, and it should give you a great view of this fantastic pitch. Have a look at this. I think we'll have a sit in the sun while we wait for everybody to go home. As you can see, there's still a lot of people up there. I reckon we're gonna have to wait at least another hour and a half or so before everybody goes home. While we're waiting then, I'm going to send my drone out that way this time. It'll give you a view of Higger Tor from a different angle. Hopefully in the background we should get the Hope Valley, perhaps Kinder Scout and Bleaklow in the distance, but it'll just give you a different view while we're waiting for everybody to go home. So I'm just gonna sit here in the sun and wait till they've all gone. But while we're waiting, have a look at this. I thought they would never go home. I must have been sat here for about an hour and a half. Sun's actually dropped down now behind a bit of a low cloud. But we're at that time of the year, sort of getting towards what is the spring equinox, where you've got 12 hours of daylight and 12 hours of darkness, and I think people are making sure they get the full 12 hours of daylight. But I thought I can't wait any longer. Probably only got another hour of daylight, and I thought I might as well get on, make myself a drink, and at least have my tea before it goes dark. I think this is just about boiling now. So I thought I'll have a cup of coffee at least, and then I can get on with my main meal in the daylight. Makes it a lot easier. Sounds like a helicopter coming over or something. Oh, that's good. Well, I think we'll have a drop of whiskey in the coffee tonight. I should smarten it up a bit. It's sort of frustrating when you want to get on with filming, but I know there were people sat above me, so I couldn't really start in case somebody turned up and that. Anyway, cheers. Nice cup of coffee. Now, when I'm bivvying, I usually make sure I've got good weather. We've had beautiful weather today, and the weather tonight is dry. Bivvying's different, especially if you're cooking. You don't want it raining. You're alright in a cave, and I'm hoping Leaning Block will give me some shelter. But now, bivvying and the rain don't really go together well, so I tend to make sure it's dry weather when I'm bivvying. So that's my coffee, which was very nice. I'm not going to prepare it yet. I say prepare it. That is my tea. You want it easy. So what I did, earlier in the week, we had a French dish. It's called cassoulet. Southern France, near the Pyrenees, very popular. Now in France, they make cassoulet out of sort of a bit like a tomato sauce, but the main ingredients are duck and Toulouse sausage. Well, I'm afraid we're not in France, so we've got the tomato sauce, various beans go in it. That might be just our take on it, but I've made it with chicken and Tesco sausage, so it's not bad. But we had that earlier in the week, and then I put a portion in the freezer, and that's what I brought with me tonight. So once I've had my coffee, got myself settled in, I'll look towards getting that meal on. But I thought I might as well get all my cooking done, cleared up, and then we'll hopefully, it might be as it's going dark, we'll get the bivvy set up. It's my Rab Ridge Raider, so that is really cosy. Once you've got that set up, sleeping bag in, you're set for the night. It is so cosy. But bivvying is quite a tough style of camping. It's great for places like this. I didn't really want to set a tent up. I'm not here for that long. I wanted to be right under the edge of leaning blocks so nothing drops on me, and then get off early in the morning. And I thought the bivvy was ideal for this situation. I don't know if you probably recognise this 45-year-old Thermarest. It makes a little bit more comfort. I wasn't sure how dry the ground would be, and it just gives you somewhere comfortable and dry to sit. So I'll come back to you in a little bit when we've got the cassoulet on the stove and warming up. See you in a bit. It's always good to get your cooking done in the daylight. It's not so bad in a tent. You can put a bit of portable lighting up and it's a little bit easier. But for bivvying, I think you get your cooking all out the way in the daylight. Make life a lot easier. We'll have a look, see how this cassoulet is doing. So that's my cassoulet. Very easy, obviously. I've only warmed it up. Something we quite often have at home. It's got your protein, your chicken and your sausage, all your beans. It's got red beans, butter beans. I put a tin of baked beans in, tomatoes. So at the end of the day, it's a nice, tasty, filling, warm meal. Just what you want while you're bivvying. Very nice that. Just what I wanted. Something warm and tasty. I've got my steam pudding on the go down there with custard. Easy one really. No skill required at all. But at the end of the day, it gives you something sweet and warm to finish your meal with. But it's quite peaceful now. Everybody's gone home and I've got the place to myself. I'm just looking out across from Carl Wark right over to the Hope Valley, which is a fantastic view. I'll leave you looking at that view while I finish my pudding off before we lose the daylight. You can just make out the hills, although the foreground's getting quite dark. So I'll leave you with a look at my view, and then I'll bring you back when I've got my bivvy set up and we're all ready to settle down for the night. See you in a little bit. Well, pleased to say I've managed to get everything set up, but I have lost the light. So I'm just swinging the camera around to there. I've got a nice little spot to sit just there. Oops. So yeah, managed to get the bivvy set up, but then we soon lost the light. It just went like that, disappeared behind the hills really. But as I said, that's my Rab Ridge Raider bivvy. It's awkward to film in the dark. It's got my Ladaka winter bagging, mattress, and then all the comforts that you need to have a good night's sleep, which number one is a hot water bottle. Got my stove set up outside so I can warm that up, or it's there for a hot drink. Got my phone, so I've got 4G, got a radio, and somewhere we've got my whiskey. All the camp essentials for a good night's bivvying. So I think I'll join you in a wee dram. I didn't bring me glass today. I thought my rucksack were full and I didn't envisage me having a drink much really. But I got this nice comfy seat underneath the overhang, so I'm perfectly safe. So cheers then. Wow, very nice but very cold. You don't realise the night temperature in March. Nice and sunny in the day, but once that sun goes down it starts to feel a bit cool. But it is very dark around here. Normally I tend to camp and I can overlook Sheffield, or you might camp on Kinder, Bleaklow, you overlook Manchester. So there's always lights, city lights in the distance. I think this area is known as it's known as a dark area. So if you're interested in looking at the stars, this is the perfect place to come. Not that I can see that many tonight, but it's a well-known dark area. and it is great for stargazing when you've got a clear sky and that. But I think tonight all I'm looking forward to is being nice and comfortable and warm and getting a nice night's sleep. So I'm not being out here for too long. There is a bit of a breeze, and I can start to feel a little cold and that. So I'll bid you good night, and I'll see you in the morning. Night then. Morning there. I was gonna have a bit of a lie-in this morning, but believe it or not, about 6 o'clock, just starting to come daylight, I could hear voices and I could hear dogs barking. So I know there were people up early. They must come here walking the dogs early, or they just walkers. But I thought I'd better get up, get my gear packed away, and then I can have my breakfast sort of feeling a bit more relaxed. Because knees. Last night, just before I was going to settle down in my bivvy, a chap, old man, he come walking past. He must have been about 70ish on his walking sticks. He was probably just doing his evening walk that he does every night, but he was very nice. We had a chat, and then he said he was off to the grouse for a pint of Guinness. But nice to talk to somebody, and he didn't really say anything much at all about me camping here. But you don't know, some other people might feel different. So I've got majority of my gear packed away. My stove, that's all set up with a bit of shelter down here. So I'm going to make a start and get myself a bit of breakfast on the go. Thought we'd have a drink of hot chocolate this morning. I meant to have it last night, but it just went dark, and I was more interested in getting tucked up in my sleeping bag than making drinks and that. Fix it up. Well, enjoy this drink and have a look what it's like out there. Well, that's just looking towards the west. The sun is up, but it's behind the other side of Higger Tor, so we're a bit in the shade down here, but you can see the sky's pretty bright. But it's a nice morning. It's dry, and it stayed dry last night. It was in fact perfect bivvying weather. As you can probably see, there is a bit of a breeze, so the bivvy works perfect then. Any dampness from my body or anything like that, any sweat, goes through the fabric, gets on the outside of the bivvy, and then the wind will take it away, so you have a very comfortable and dry night, no condensation. It's a curlew, probably didn't hear it. But yeah, it feels a nice morning. I wouldn't say I had the most comfortable of night's sleep. I suppose you're aware what you slept under. You're aware people about, anybody could come, but I feel okay. Not got to do much today, breakfast and then off home. I've left my car over at Fox House Way, so it's only about three miles, something like that. But hopefully if you can hear that bird in the distance, it's a curlew. See if we can see it. I think we'll enjoy this view, finish my hot chocolate and then get on with the porridge. Right, I think we can say this porridge is done. Always nice, get some warm food into you. Even though it's brightening up and the sun's coming out, it's still cold. I bet it's only about 5 or 6 degrees, something like that. Well, I think temperature today is going to be about 10 degrees, so it should be quite nice. You can see straight away the sun is starting to break the cloud up down there. I think we'll go and have a sit on that rock. A beautiful early morning view. You got the sun just breaking through the mist up the Hope Valley. It's sort of coming clearer all the time. Anyway, feels a bit chilly here. Get this finished off, get the rucksack packed, I'll have a last word with you just before I head off home. That's me all packed up. Nobody would ever know I've been here. Breeze is picking up a bit, making it a bit cool. But what an impressive place to camp. Not only underneath Leaning Block, but the whole area. It's got such natural beauty to it, and it's probably been like this for hundreds of thousands of years and never really changed much. It does look very much like it perhaps was in prehistoric times. It has got such a lot of natural beauty. Anyway, time for me to set off home. I've only got a little walk, about 3 miles back to my car. I'm gonna go in a big loop, recce some new spots on my way back. So I'll thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to having a look at the drone footage I took yesterday. Hopefully that will show this area off in all its beauty. So let's hope it's worked out well. So I'll say bye, and I'll see you on the next video, and I have a strong inkling it will be back in the pub shed. See you then, bye.